And a hearty welcome here from the racetrack of Zandvoort in the Netherlands for the race, the second race for the Caterham Iberia 340R and France Road Sport. We'll be doing the live commentary for the live stream, but also the live commentary on the track. So it will be a mix of both. Very exciting to see the start of this second race, because yesterday we had a lot of action-packed moments here on the track. It's very competitive and close racing, where slipstreaming is one of the most important parts of the game. So we'll have to see what happens here in the first few laps, which will be quite exciting. We'll have a if it's good, we will have a rolling start, but I see that the way they are now on the grid is for a standing start, so it surprises me a little bit. But anyway, we'll have to see how that goes. Just checking the number 84, which is also there on third place. It's the yellow and green one. So we have on pole position Rafael Antunes in the yellow car, number 32. Then on second, Pedro Ramos with the blue and white car on second place. Then on third we have Mariana Poser de Andrade, and I know we pronounce it not very well, but this is the best we can with the white number 4 car. And on fourth place we have the yellow and green car from Albinio Gusto, the number 84 car at fourth. Fifth then Guillermo Antau, Gonçalo Aguilar de Matos on sixth. Then 7 Guillermo Aguilar de Matos. And on 8, the Andrade and Magalhães Megre.
Now, what you might not see on your screens when you're following the live stream is that there's a second group of the French road sport contesters. They start in the normal order in which they finished the race yesterday, with on the right hand front side Michel Luca, and on the left Maxime Aparicio. Second row Sébastien Charon, and on the left hand side Charlotte Lafourcade, quickest lady in the field, quite a quick lady by the way. And the front, the first 10 are in reversed order, so it was Bernardo Bello who won yesterday in front of Ruben Ferreira da Costa, but they're now in 10th and 9th position respectively. So the two in front were 9th and 10th in the race are now on pole position. Rafael Antunes in the yellow car and Pedro Ramos in the white and blue car. En die vierde rij, daar was ik niet aan toegekomen.
So the car's now in the formation lap in corner 12, exiting corner 12, being, well, the front of the pack, exiting the Arie Luijendijk corner, the last bank corner before we go onto the straight of Circuit Zandvoort. And again, we will have a rolling start, so that means that the yellow number 32 car of Rafael Antunes on the side of the pit lane will decide when he will hit the throttle, and no one can overtake him before the start line. And otherwise, of course, he can only hit the throttle when the lights go out. All the 5 lights now at the start point are red still. They are still red. He can...
And it's funny because it's the white and blue car of Pedro Ramos. He seems to be slightly ahead, but he's not allowed to do that. No, he's not. It's Rafael Antunes in the yellow car who hits the throttle first and takes the lead into Tarzan corner. Indeed, it's the man in second position, Pedro Ramos, behind him. And that I think in third it's Abilio Justo. We'll check later on when they're going in the direction of Hans Hugenholt's corner, the first bank corner, aka turn 3, where they're in now. We see them coming into the corner, not going out just yet, so we can't check for you. But it seems like the whole field is on its way at the moment.
Yeah, in total 42 cars on track. We missed one, Miguel Carmo, who did not start. But 42 cars is really a big group of cars of Caterhams here on the track. So a little bit of smoke going into Schijfvlak corner, which is corner number 7 here at the track. Well, you shouldn't brake there, to be honest, but sometimes they try, and we know what can happen in that corner. If all the guys here would know what can happen in that corner, they wouldn't hit the brakes going into Schijfvlak corner. Well, still at the front is Rafael Antunes. He has like an advantage of 10, 20, 30 meters, most of it towards turn 11, the Hans Ernst corner. Which is a 90-degree right corner, and then followed by 180-degree corner to the left. So a lot can happen there, and he is already there. Yeah, he has some kind of 10, 15 meters, 20 meters in advantage of the car behind him.
Oh, there's a big crash. That was in 6th position. That's the number, what is it, number 23 or 73?
Yeah, 3 cars are involved right now. It's
73, I think. Corbet or Sergado,
safety car,
I think share the car, was in 9th position, coming out wide out of turn 12 and crashing fairly heavily.
Yeah, some came, I think, out of turn 12, and that's what's happening there a lot. If you come out of turn 12 with too much speed on the outer side, your wheels go over the curbstones into the sand. And what happens then is that a car immediately goes to the left, and when another car drives there, then you get a kind of a bowling alley, and that's what happened. At least 3 cars have stranded now at the exit of turn 12.
It appears to be Abilio Justo or not? Let's check who it was. Or Guillermo.
Well, I think at least it's a number 3 car.
It might be 35.
It's the number 35 car. It's a number 3 car, and I thought it was another car because I saw 3 cars standing still out of turn 12. Maybe 1 car resumed. I don't know, but it's a kind of a carnage up there at the moment. So I think it will take 1 or 2, maybe 3 safety car laps before all the cars.
There's 1 car in the pit lane, but he wasn't involved. I think he went in even just before the start. Benjamin Osdois is in, and we're missing 4 cars. Corbet Sigado, I think that was heavily, but also Guillermo Tao, Guillermo Aguiar de Matos, and Christophe Legrel are all missing. I'm not sure if Legrel was involved. He was further back. Legrel started from 38th position, so wasn't, at least at that moment, near Antao, Guillermo Aguiar de Matos and Corbet or Sergado.
In the meantime, the marshals are getting off the debris that's also there on track, so that the whole group is able to pass behind the safety car there. But I think they will clean it up before they're there, because the safety car is now in turn 10 and slowly moving towards the combination of 11 and 12, and it's a red flag. We have a red flag situation right now. The race will be stopped at the finish line. Yeah, there is too much cars damaged and too much debris on the track, so ambulance will also go out. So we have a red flag situation. All the cars will stop at the finish line.
And maybe that's a good idea. There's 15.5 minutes to go. The clock stopped, so if they race again, they can race for the full 15.5 minutes, although it will probably be a restart behind the pace car if they start again, but we'll have to see. For now, all cars back. Now, normally during a race, they will be going back and will be standing still on the straight, ready to leave again if possible. In practice, they'll go back into the pit lane, but usually during a race, officially at least, they're supposed to be stopping here, the first car, just before the start-finish line, and the rest of the cars lined up behind the lead car. And lead car, is that Abilio Justo? It is possible, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, there was basically when the first car went off the track at that corner, he hit the other car, the third car was involved, and there was basically no room to escape because the whole field, it happened in the front rows of the race. So yeah, it was hardly anything to escape from. And that's why a couple of cars hit each other there coming out of 12. And yeah, if it's okay, then the whole group should be not going into the pit lane because it's a race. They should not be going back to their starting positions. They should form one line in front of the
behind
finish
the safety
line.
car.
Yeah, one line behind the number one car. This is what you learn when you get your racing license. And now what they're doing is they're, you know, kind of sorting out their own new start grid again, which is not meant to be. But anyway, yeah, well, I think that's for the coordinator of both groups from Portugal and from France.
Nobody ever pays attention at the driver's briefing, unfortunately. They should know.
Now that's why the driver's briefing are there, because although there are rules at some tracks, the rules are different than at other tracks. Well, not the rules, but they do different things at other tracks. The rules are not generally all the FIA rules, but yeah, the way it goes right now is a little bit messy, but I think they by now understand it themselves. So in turn 12, the marshals are working hard. There is also an ambulance. Yeah, there was quite an accident with 3 cars there, so we'll have to wait how it goes. And in the meantime, we'll have the red flag again, as said. Abilio Justo was the one on front, but I am really doubting, is Justo, let me check, he has the yellow and green car, which is there in the front still. So we see a question mark with his car, but that has to do with a transponder of Abilio Justo that's not working. So it should be a good moment, I think, if it's allowed, of course, to do something with his transponder, because the guy on front with a not working transponder is not what you want. So yeah, race control could take the decision to take care of a good transponder within the car, and the same counts for the number 77 car, which is Miguel Carmo on 10th position. Also, he does not have a working transponder on board. So it would be a good moment to change these transponders to be able to track them when the race restarts.
Yeah, and if they're not in the correct position to resume the race, then it'll take some time to get them in the right position. And that'll be tricky. Apparently, just after the crash, and of course we were looking at the crash and what has happened and what's the situation there, but briefly after that, or maybe just before that, Abilio Justo took over the lead.
Is it possible to see the crash again?
And we just have to wait. There's not a lot we can do. For this field of Caterham Iberia 340R and France Roadsport, who all just have to wait, and it's fairly warm, but not extremely warm. So some drivers, I see a driver with the hand out of his cockpit, gesturing to somebody, to one of the other drivers maybe, to explain to him what needs to be done to get a proper lineup. Now it's something they have to work out among them, well, not among themselves, because the race directors will have to give clear orders on how to proceed with the rest of the race, although they're still working on the situation out of turn 12. At least one of the crashed cars there. So it takes a while. And for those who are watching the live stream, just saw pictures of the front of the grid and now from the back, and then it's even clearer what an interesting mess it's becoming. Drivers will be in touch with the teams, but the teams aren't probably aware of what needs to happen now either.
Yeah, there was really a huge accident coming out of turn 12, but there was one car came over a little over the curbstones into the sand, and that made the car turn around and bounce back to the track. Then another car hit, and it made like a 360-degree turn. And it's good that all the drivers use their Hans neck protection systems, because otherwise I don't know what would have happened. But it was a really tough one. We noticed that the marshals really acted very fast also with the yellow flag. I think it was like a 2-second time in between before the yellow flags were turned on the LED boards were turned on. So really good work from the marshal post or from race control. They did a good job in warning the other drivers, but then you are full in the race with 40 cars around you, and then you have to respond on a yellow flag within a split second and have to decide full brake, left, right side of the track. It's difficult, but at the end, 3 cars were hit in the accident, with one being really the second car that made a really nasty move after he hit it. And I'm very happy that we have the hand system, the head and neck protection system for all the drivers, so that it protects his neck and head. But as far as I can see, the driver will probably be taken to the hospital for a check, because I see an ambulance arriving at the track. And it's in the Netherlands, it works like this, that we have ambulances on the track, but when people have to be brought to hospitals, we get external ambulances to the track. So it's probably a precaution thing, but better safe than sorry, of course. Most important is the health of the driver, which is most important, and then we can continue with the race. When all the debris and the cars are removed from the track and they have checked the guardrail, and then we can continue the racing. For the moment, as you can see or hear, it's a red flag situations after quite a big crash at the exit of turn number 12. And of course, the procedure that's now going on, it will take a while until we can restart everything. So one of the drivers has been brought away by the ambulance. Will probably go towards the hospital for a check. And until the whole accident procedure is over, and the marshals are not allowed to reshift the cars that are now standing on the straight, and they should have all be in one line just before the finish line, but they did not really do it. So it will be probably sorting out again what will be the order when they will going out for the warm-up for the restart. So we'll just have to wait. But first, the accident procedure has to be stopped before they can do anything on track.
And we're gradually going in the direction of a restart of the race in the same starting order as the first time. Clock has gone to 20 minutes, so that would mean normal race distance. Hopefully they all have enough fuel on board, because they've already done 2 laps, so have consumed a bit of fuel with these Caterhams. And the cars are to be put on their original starting position. So the first 10 of the first race of yesterday in reversed order on the grid. So that means that Rafael Antunes in the yellow car is on pole position on the right hand side. The white and blue car of Pedro Ramos in second. Then on the right hand side, Mariana Poser de Andrade in the bright yellow and green car, the white and dark green car of Abilio Justo, the number yeah, needs to be in between there, so they did make a mistake. At least the first row is correct, with Rafael Antunes and Pedro Ramos in the first row, and the rest will be slightly altered. Now, step by step, we'll get there. The first 5 or altogether 7 rows of the Caterham Iberia 340R field. Started with a total of 14 cars. There'll probably be 12 or maybe 11 left now of that field. I think 12, but we'll check that later on. Row 2 in place, the right hand side, the white and dark green car of Mariana Poser de Andrade. The left hand side, row 2, the yellow and green car, the number 84 of Abilio Justo. Then row 3 on the right hand side, the green car in place, the number 12, Gonzalo Aguiar de Matos. And next to him we are expecting the red and black car of Guillermo Antau, but I think he crashed as well. He was involved in that crash in Hans Ernst Corner. So it's probably safe to say that he won't be there with us. That means on the left hand side there's the number 3 car in the 4th row of De Andrade or Magalhães Megre, and we do not get information from the organizers who is behind the steering wheel this session, this race. So, and we can't guess. Fifth row then, on the right-hand side, the orange and light blue car of Ruben Ferreira da Costa. And on the left-hand side, the turquoise and white Caterham of Bernardo Bello, the number 57. Then behind him is the blue and orange liveried car of Hugo Antau. Basically the colors that Gulf Oil Company sponsored cars in a long time ago. And missing there as well is the Corvette Sirgado car, but we know, we've seen them crash coming out of turn 12. And at the back there's two more cars, the number 46 of Fernando Infante da Camara, the black and orange car, and alongside him it's Miguel Carmo in the light green, the mint colored car, number 77. Then some space, quite a lot of space at the moment, to the contestants in the France Road Sport class. Basically same cars, Caterham 340Rs, but a French organization, with Michel Luca in pole position on the right hand side, the starting number 50, and Maxime Aparicio alongside in the 158. And then second row, Sébastien Charon and Charlotte Lafourcade. I think there was one car missing from that lineup, but I'm not sure who it was. Perhaps it was a car that was involved in a completely separate crash, or maybe his car broke down, but we think there's one of the French contestants missing. There were quite a few. Actually, that field is much, the France Road Sport field is much bigger than the Caterham Iberia 340R category. And hopefully they're almost all in place to get a restart. That'll be one lap behind the safety car, and then at the end of that lap, restart.
And I think in this moment we are ready for resuming the race, or doing the restart of the race, to be honest, because we were within 2 laps of the start of the race, which will resume the start. So we have 20 minutes to go for this race. The original race time is on the clock again, and that means that we will have the full laps of the race, with one of the drivers being transported to the hospital, which is sad enough, of course, but let's hope it will be okay with the driver. It was quite a impressive crash, so to say. So we have two starting grids, basically. The first one is for the Caterham Iberia 340 Air, and the second one is for France Road Sport, which is a relatively big field for France Road Sport. These are a little bit, how do you call it, less faster Caterhams than the Iberia 340R, as far as I know. So we'll see what happens there, and let's hope that this race will go according to plan. That means no crashes and stuff like that, and we have a nice race for the next 20 minutes. So
and here at the racetrack we see all cars coming by, but the live stream, when you're watching at home or anywhere else, will be following the lead group of the Caterham Iberia 340R. Won't, as far as we know, follow the France Road Sport cars, but every now and then we'll be talking about the French contingent as well for the local spectators here. So don't be mistaken, the people at home watching the live stream might see one car on their screens, and we might be talking about a completely different car in the second half of the field. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's of course when you mix the live commentary on the track with the live stream, of course. But I think we're all motorsport fans, so we won't bother about that. All the information should be welcome. So the warm-up lap with the safety car in corner number 10. And now they are moving towards the corner where the previous the restart, the accident was. Yeah, I saw some smoke from one of the tires of the cars already warming up behind. I think you just tried to brake.
Warming up the brakes, that's right. And which is good. It doesn't happen very often, especially in sort of, so to say, amateur classes. Here there are really good drivers, but in some amateur classes people always forget to not just warm up the tires but also warm up the brakes, and that's quite important because you need them, especially at the end of the straight going into Tarzan corner. That's an important spot for late braking and for overtaking, so you better be sure your brakes are up to temperature.
It will be a rolling start again, and let's see what happens now in the first two laps. We miss in total of at least 3 cars, I think.
Yeah, and I think one from the French road sports class, but maybe he could join again. We'll see that once they've all come by.
Okay, the safety car leave the track right now, so that leaves Rafael Antunes in the yellow car on the side of the pit lane, who will set the pace until the lights go off, and then everyone can go on when they passed the starting line. There they go, and I think already it looked as if the guy on second place
was too early
again.
Yeah.
They make the same mistake every time. So the guy that now leads is
Pedro Ramos.
Relatively, I think he did it not well, so to say at least.
I think he stole the start.
And what happened with Rafael Antunes? Is he now second or third?
No, he's third. I think on the inside. Ooh, that's a bold move. That's Abilio Justo, who tried on the inside. Well, he never managed to threaten Pedro Ramos' lead, but he did secure a second position in front of Rafael Antunes. And that's interesting stuff at the beginning of the race. Directly battles going on.
In front of the field we still see Ramos in the lead, but we think that he was too early in passing Rafael Antunes at the start, but race control will decide later on, of course. So the whole field's going well. We don't have any cars, we don't see any yellow flags. So at the I see a lot of dust coming out of corner number 9. One of the cars left the track for a short moment,
on the outside.
went into the gravel bed or the grass, but returned to track, so a green green flag again, no problem.
Yeah, and it's Poleman Rafael Antunes now in 4th position. He lost another place. Of course, he was the one who finished in 10th position after yesterday's race. So maybe he's not the very quickest car in that lead group. Anyway, he's now 4th. And the battle for the lead is continuing. But it's Abilio Justo now clearly in the lead still. But many cars in his slipstream and the slipstream on the side. But I think still he's holding that position. No, is it
it's the
Gonzalo?
problem with Abilio Gusto is that his transponder is not working. So
okay.
We have to keep note of that.
Yeah. Because he was the one that we saw is leading and is still leading, and it's the orange and blue, light blue car of Ruben Ferreira da Costa. Is it? Well, would that be in 2nd position already? Then he passed at least 2 cars. Interesting. Yeah, must be. Wow. So many changes at the beginning, and Justo is now reinstated as the top of the leaderboard, although his transponder doesn't work properly, but timekeeping take care of that. And yes, it must be Ruben Ferreira da Costa, isn't it? We have Gonzalo Aguiar de Matos in 2nd position on our screens, but that's a green car.
Yeah, the problem is that we have we need to look to the live images,
that's
which
right.
I think that we have now an attack on the 1st place. The red car, I have to check.
No, that's Ruben Ferreira, I think. The orange car, orange and light blue car. Now the leaderboard that we see, the standings are not all correct because they're sometimes behind. They show the order in which they last came by. Now they come by, and now we know for sure.
The Costa Bello Akira de Matos, but yeah, we know don't know for sure because they are now entering it on the Tarzan corner, exiting Tarzan corner.
Yeah, and it's Bernardo Bello now in the lead.
Yeah,
it's the light blue, the turquoise and white car of Bernardo Bello now in the lead. He had a double slipstream, really good slipstream on the left-hand side at the end of the straight, and he's now into the lead with, I think, Ruben Ferreira da Costa in 2nd, and then it's probably Bernardo Bello. Who is in 3rd now? That's an interesting one. Is it Abilio Justo? I think it is. Must be. But his transponder doesn't work, so we can't be sure.
Yeah, it's Justo who will be set manually again to 3rd place. So we have Ruben Ferreira da Costa, then Bernardo Bello on 2nd, and Abilio Justo at 3rd. But it can change every couple of hundred of meters because the battle at front is really up at this moment with Ferreira da Costa and Bello, who are fighting for the front position in the field. Let's wait what happens there. It can change when they pass the start-finish line again. Justo now on 3rd, and where is the guy that started from pole position, the number 32 car, which is Rafael Antunes. He's now on 8th position. Yeah, well, he was taken off his lead by, who was it again? Was it Pedro Ramos at that time, I think? Yeah.
Then we must realize that Rafael Antunes. So it's a bit funny, but the guys who started in 5th row but led the race yesterday were 1 and 2, are now 1 and 2, but not necessarily in that order in the race again. So the quickest cars did get to the front. And actually, in this race, there is a lot of slipstreaming going on, but with a much smaller group. The cars in 4th and 5th position, Pedro Ramos and Gonzalo Aguiar de Matos, cannot match the speed of the 3 cars in front.
And that's more or less what's happening with the front being exiting corner 12 right now, passing the place of the accident in the previous starting laps. And one of the cars is leaving. Yeah, is it Bernardo Bella maybe? He's now into the grass, parking his car in a safe place, but probably there will be a yellow flag in turn 12 with Bernardo Bello up there. And the front of the pack here going on the straight, so number 15 car in the lead, Ruben Ferreira da Costa, then followed by
whoa. The front brakes completely locking on Ruben Ferreira da Costa's car. He kept it though, he's still in the lead, but that won't do his front tires any good when he needs to defend from Abilio Justo. With then behind them now Gonzalo Aguiar de Matos and Pedro Ramos, with the Bernardo Bello car dropping back on the leaderboard because he's simply in the grass coming out of turn 12. Now we haven't seen what happened. Maybe just his engine stopped, or maybe he went off, or he hit something. But he seemed to be the only car involved. He's in the pit lane now, so he did manage to get away there. And yes, there were 4 cars in total not starting. The one from the French contingent was Benjamin Osdois, who did not start this race.
Ruben Ferreira da Costa so in the lead, Abilio Justo behind him, and in about 6/10 of a second. They're now again in corner number 12, and yeah, a lot further behind them, Gonzalo Aguilar de Matos and Pedro Ramos, who are, well, a couple of hundred of seconds behind each other, but the space between Justo and De Matos is almost 2.2 seconds. So the guys on top are really ahead of the following 2 cars. You can see it here at the main straight. It's Ferreira da Costa Justo on 6/10 of a second, but closing in by breaking into Tarzan. And then the fight for 3rd position between Ramos and Poser de Andrade, the numbers 52 and 4, also breaking into Tarzan. And do they change the order?
Yeah, they did. It's Poser de Andrade, Mariana Poser de Andrade, who passed Pedro Ramos for 3rd position.
And Ferreira da Costa still in the lead in the fight with Gonzalo Aguilar de Matos, but here on the straight, no, it was Abilio Justo again. It's very
yeah, we miss him on the leaderboard every now and then.
Yeah, we miss him on the leaderboard. It makes sense, but the guys from timing are really doing their best to get him back on place, everything by hand, but his transponder is just not working off the number 84 car, so that's what we have to deal with. Ferreira da Costa Justo behind him on less than 4/10 of a second, and also at the back of the track, trying to drive different lines to be able to move towards Ferreira da Costa. Justo also trying to line up at the exit of turn number 10, which has a couple of 100 meters towards the next corner, which is, of course, obviously number 11, trying to take some speed with him. But still, the 2 of them are Da Costa and Justo, and behind that, there is still the battle between the Matos and Ramos going on. So we'll have to see on the straight what happens here again. And indeed, like you said, Ron, the you know, the pack that we called yesterday, there are groups, but they are further away from each other. It's not one big group on top, which we had yesterday. But yeah, okay, this is what it is, of course. So here are the guys at the lead, and now there's an attack from Justo on the inside towards Tarzan, but he don't manage to do so, so he has to go to the outside of Tarzan, and then it's Ferreira da Costa who will block him again, and that means that in the same order they will go towards the Kerlach corner and Hugenholz corner.
Yeah, and Abilio Justo threatened on the inside, but there wasn't enough space, so then went to the outside. That didn't help, so he's not managed to pass him. And look at the fights in the midfield and just behind it, or actually the front of the French contestants, I think. We have Charlotte Lafourcade in 11th position. No, actually in front it's Fernando Infanta da Camara in 10th position, and the group behind him of at least 6 cars all the way to 16th position within 2 seconds of each other. At the front, still battle being done. And I think in the battle for 3rd position, it's now Pedro Ramos who regained that 3rd position. I didn't see that happen.
And we do have a safety car on track. With still Da Costa and Justo up front. But yeah, they can just slow down now because it's a safety car on track. Which I have to check if there's any more or less legitimate reason to put a safety car on track.
Yeah, 4.5 minutes to go only. There's a car on the outside of Tarzan corner, on the left-hand side. It's probably Aurélie Varin.
There's 2 cars. They have crashed into each other.
Oh, no, it's not Aurélie Varin.
And it's not Tarzan corner, is it? Yeah, it's Tarzan corner. It is. Yeah. But 2 cars crashed outside of Tarzan corner. They're in the gravel bed. And that's why we have the safety car, which is a legitimate reason, of course, because coming out of Tarzan and then seeing 2 cars that are more or less attached to each other in the outcome of Tarzan or in the outer side of Tarzan corner, that's really a dangerous place. Yeah, well, as you said, we have 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go. To be honest, I think this is the end of the race because they have to remove the 2 cars in Tarzan corner. We have 3.5 minutes. 1 lap behind the safety car takes around 3 minutes, I think, 3.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're trying to, or is one of the cars driving or are they towing it? Oh, it's going relatively fast in Tarzan corner. We might have a quick cleanup of the mess up there.
I think it's Pete Mitchell involved and
the number 73.
Sebastien, 173. Sebastien Boitier is probably the other car. And is there a 3rd car involved?
Look, both are able to drive themselves, so probably we'll have the safety car leaving the track at the end of this lap, which gives us 1 lap to race still, I think.
Yeah, probably. They'll probably get the sign last lap right away. And now it's one of the back markers. I think that's Aurélie Varin, who's now the first behind the safety car. Maybe they'll wave her through.
Which they should basically do right now.
Yeah, that's easiest.
Depending on the fact if everyone is going in Tarzan corner, because if there's still marshals walking there, then it will not be a wise decision, of course. But we'll have to see. We'll see that the safety car is still on track. The marshals are now leaving the track up there. We see that 1 car is in between the safety car and the guys on the lead, Ferreira da Costa and Abilio Justo, the numbers 15 and 84. And it's I think it's Aurélie Varin that's driving there, the number 21. So they have to wave her through in order to not be in the front when the safety car leaves the track. And probably we can race for 1 lap when they are back on time here, because it's 1.5 minutes and it is not going very fast, to be honest.
No.
So we'll have to see if we will finish behind safety car or if we can have one full racing lap ahead with 1:20 to go. It depends if the guys at front will be close to the start-finish line if we have some seconds left.
Now, what's the situation? Those of you at home watching live stream have not perhaps been following that, and not on your screens at least, but there's the France Road Sport contingent here, and the ones doing battle here are Maxime Aparicio in 8th position overall and Michel Luca in 9th position overall. Red flag, race will not be resumed, and so that's the end of it, and that means that this order we see on our screens is the one that'll stay in place, with Ruben Ferreira da Costa winning this race in front of Abilio Justo, with Pedro Ramos in 3rd, and with the France Road Sport group, it's Maxime Aparicio and Michel Luca. That's it for the live stream, end of the live stream of the Caterham Iberia 340R here, race 2 at Zandvoort.